EDFL TV down here at Fruits of Passion, Belair Street, Kensington. Matty?
Good cafe, trendy area.
Funky looking joint down here.
Yeah, great place here. Fruits of Passion, Kensington, looking after you, and you couldn't have eaten that wrap any quicker.
Yeah, I needed a bit of protein in me. Just been at the gym before, and you're off to the gym now, Matty, to pump out a workout.
Yeah, definitely. Might make a comeback here after watching a bit of EDFL and AFL over the last couple of weeks. But, mate, cracking, good to have a break.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had the week off with Queen's birthday, of course, but there was plenty of football on with the juniors playing interleague. So very well done to the 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s and 16s, and also the youth girls who all played interleague over the weekend. Busy time for... everyone concerned at the EDFL, so well done to, in particular, Steph Zarowski for all the hard work she does in the office with the Interleague. Great operator.
She's a marvellous employee of the EDFL.
So some great results for the EDFL right across the board, but the big one was the Under-15 Division 2 team. They are into the Championship Grand Final. They'll take on Yarra Junior Football League on Saturday the 29th of June at Trevor Barker Oval. Down your way, Matty, Sandringham way.
Yeah, nice and close to my home, and also went to the game. It was a great game of football, big crowd there, beautiful ground. They played in Bentley, the Bignell Road Oval, and Mark Chury and myself got to see the guys there, and a very, very good team and very exciting for that under-15 side.
Yep, lovely stuff. So once again, big congratulations to all the junior boys and girls who played interleague football. A great feather in their cap. All right, Matty, no games to recap on last week, but there's some big games to preview this week.
Let's go to Division 2, a division that's in very, very close, especially in the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th positions.
Yep, absolutely. So occupying 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th is East Keilor, Keilor Park, Roxburgh Park, Coburg districts, and two of those teams that play each other this week are the Keilor rivals. They're playing for the Mercedes Calthorpe Cup. It is East Keilor versus Keilor Park.
Joey Mercedes said he'll be there, but he's torn his calf twice this year. He goes, Matt, I can't have a kick, but he said it means a lot to him. And he said the Keilor Park boys will get up. But East Keilor, they're just about the informed side of Division 2 the last 2 or 3 weeks, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Really turned things around.
Had a couple of losses there in a stretch, but have strung it together now over a few weeks. So it's going to be a big contest in the Mercedes Calthorpe Cup, and both teams. A couple of weeks ago, you really would have thought Roxburgh Park had third spot lined up, but East Keilor and Keilor Park now put themselves into a position where they can both challenge for the third spot on the ladder. Matty, your tip?
I think East Keilor at home just, but an 8-point game, very close game.
Yep. East Sunbury versus Hillside. You expect Hillside to get the win in that one. Obviously, we're hoping that East Sunbury can start to maybe string a few more stronger performances together and get a win towards the end of the season.
Hillside for me, good luck to East Sunbury.
Coburg Districts, Moonee Valley, big one here for Coburg Districts at home. They really need to get a big scalp in Division 2 football, but it's unlikely against top of the table, 8 from 8, Moonee Valley.
Moonee Valley touched them up at home, I think it was round 2 or 3. Gave Coburg Districts a good football lesson. I think it was close to 14 or 15 goals at the end. The big fella, Tarek McGarney, makes his return back to the Eastern District Footy League. 35, 120 kilos, kicks the ball 60 metres. Ex-Avondale and Northern Saints / North Coburg full forward.
Very good cricketer.
Yeah.
Captain coach down there at Greenvale, former Carlton District cricketer. Hits a ball a long way.
And can kick a ball, and an absolute gentleman. Ex-EDFL knows football, funny man as well. So great to have him back in the comp, but I don't think he's enough to get Moonee Valley their first loss, but expect a very close game here, closer than what most people expect.
Chicana versus Roxburgh Park.
Cool, it's going to be a good one.
Can Chicana get a surprise win here? Speaking to a few of the Jags, they're out and about the Lux Bar Sunday night, the Evans boys in particular. They're pretty confident they can get a win here, Chicana.
You know what? For a side that's 1-7, a percentage of 68, it's no disgrace. They haven't been flogged, and they're an absolute great chance. At home, always a better side.
Yeah.
And Roxburgh Park have probably just dropped off a little bit the last couple of weeks after a sensational start. I think Roxy Park need to win this to be in the top 4, but it's expected a very good game in Division 2.
All right, so they are the Division 2 games for this round. East Keilor, Keilor Park, East Sunbury, Hillside, Coburg Districts, Moonee Valley, and Chicana versus Roxburgh Park. Matty, let's go to Division 1 now. Just recapping the ladder. It's Tullamarine, Northern Saints, Tullamarine, Taylors Lakes, Northern Saints, Glenroy, Hadfield, West Coburg, West Meadows, and Craigieburn. Big game this week for Glenroy. They play their oldest and nearest rival in Hadfield, and if ever they needed to turn around their form slump that they are in, they've won one of their last 4 games,
Yeah.
including, and that game they won, they were 38 points down to Craigieburn at one stage during the third quarter. So if ever they needed to turn things around, there was no better motivation this week when they play the Hawks at Saw Reserve.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think they probably needed the break. Massive pre-season, massive 4 or 5 weeks. Hadfield always lift against Glenroy, and Hadfield have been very impressive this year as well. They started a little bit slowly, but I just think Glenroy in these slower conditions and the bigger bodies, and where they're at the moment, will get a very good win here. Expect a great game.
A couple of days off last week, Lance gave them. I understand not much training during the week off.
Yep.
Gather their thoughts, bit of soul searching post game as well. So
what about the goal kickers they've got? Adam Dennis, Kite. Carruthers now has added a new dimension for him. Lance in these conditions too. It's going to be a tough day for the defence of Hadfield, but if they could break even in the midfield.
Yep, so I think it's Glenroy all round to get the job done. I think they'll turn around this week and kick-start the back end of the season. Another interesting game with West Coburg's been big win last week. Their rival with Northern Saints all of a sudden is back in the spotlight. A couple of weeks ago we were almost saying that West Coburg were nearly a relegation fancy. They've caused the upset of the season 2 weeks ago, and playing Northern Saints,
it will
be a good game at Mutton Reserve, and you'd think that Mutton Reserve would be pretty muddy, pretty slushy on Saturday.
Yeah, and look, a lot of ex-West Coburg players donning the Northern Saints jumper. Similar areas, either side of Sydney Road.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a cracking game of football. Northern Saints are hard to tip against in their form, but it wouldn't surprise me if West Coburg got the chocolates here. But Northern Saints, for me, I think the home ground advantage as well will just make a difference. I'll be there to watch that great game of football.
Ali Abu Eid in absolutely sensational goal-kicking form at the moment, isn't he, Matty?
Yeah, he's in good form. His brother Khaled's on Twitter as well, Mr. Wonderful. Loves pumping his brother up in the EDFL up. But Ali's been a new dimension as well for Northern Saints.
All right, Craigieburn versus Tullamarine. Craigieburn are now the likely favourites to go. I know it's only after 8 rounds, but they're rock bottom of Division 1 after a couple of results last week, and it's not going to get any easier against Tullamarine, who did suffer their first defeat before the bye.
Only by 4 points, and I think they'll bounce back. Tullamarine, get maybe 1 or 2 players back. It's going to be a tough day in the office for Craigieburn. We know they're always better at home, Pelly, though.
Yep, well, they haven't showed it too much this year. They've got the 1 win away to Hadfield, but if ever there was a time to pull out a big win at DS Aiken Reserve, it would be against Tullamarine if they were to knock them off. But you just to think about be the upset of the season, first last in Essendon Ford Division 1, and the last game in the Essendon Ford Division 1 competition for round 9 is West Meadows versus Taylors Lakes. Mark D'Souza and his men, they touched up the Tigers by 138 points last time they met in round 2, and it's probably not going to get any easier for West Meadows at Willowbrook Reserve.
Nah, not at all. Look, and Taylors Lakes are just that Sydney Swan sort of side, consistent all the time, and when they're at their best, they're hard to stop. Westie, they seem like they've picked up a little bit. The Peaks brothers hopefully are fit and they're playing well. Hanafi Peaks, excuse me. I think it'll be a closer game than what most people think, but the Lakers won't lose this one.
Alright, so they're the games in Essendon Ford. Craigieburn, Tullamarine, Northern Saints, West Coburg, Glenroy, Hadfield and West Meadows. Taylors Lakes. Matty, the showpiece competition of the EDFL, the Westpac Premier Division. Just quickly go through the ladder after 8 rounds. Aberfeldy, Greenvale, Avondale Heights and Strathmore round out the 4. Then it's Airport West, Maribyrnong Park, Keilor, Essendon 2 Stars, Pascoe and Oak Park sit down the bottom of the Premier Division table. They take on Strathmore this week, do Oak Park. Battle of the Creek, bit of a fierce rivalry going some years back and it's continuing on. It's hard to see Oak Park getting a win against the Moors.
Yeah, correct. Look, it's a 10-year anniversary of the 2003 Grand Final. Bumped into Clayton Hatch, superstar fullback for him. He said it's going to be an exciting day for Oak Park. But the sad thing is, a year and a half ago, these guys played off in the A-grade Grand Final in front of 10,000 people in one of our closest Grand Finals. Even though last year was impressive as well. But, it's totally different now. And I think with Strathmore getting our Doring back and a couple of others, they'll get a win here. But Oak Park, refreshed and rejuvenated, may give a good fight.
All right, Maribyrnong Park versus Aberfeldy. Huge game here for Brodie Holland and his men at home against the all-conquering Aberfeldy Football Club to date. Yet to be defeated, 8 from 8.
And what an impressive list they've got. They've had players out as well. God, Aber's going to be hard to beat. Maribyrnong Park quietly confident, but still a couple of players out might cost them. But this Aberfeldy team, Cabillo in the middle, Patak, Tommy Hislop, which should be back very soon, Connors, Braden Norris. Too much class across the board. Very hard to tip against Aberfeldy in a cracking game of football.
Essendon 2 Stars versus Pascoe. Interesting one here. Team sitting 8th and 9th on the table. You'd argue on form, Essendon 2 Stars have been far superior to Pascoe Vale.
Yeah, look, Essendon Zooter Stars is before last week. I would have said them, but they got touched up big time against Keilor, and they probably needed the break last week. Paco, let's be honest, a great club. I've got a lot of friends there as well. Paxman's a great guy as well. Matthew O'Connor, Daniel Nolan. I know the coaching staff very well, but probably from a lot of people, unfortunately, the disappointment of Premier Division in terms of on-field.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll probably tipped to be the new challengers for third and fourth, but just things haven't clicked. Unfortunately, had a few crucial injuries, and I felt how tough it is and how even the comp is. Mentally is going to be the big challenge for Paco Pelly. Are their players after a break going to be going, so we're going to have one more last crack for finals, or do they feel the season's over? This is a massive do or die for Pascoe Vale, and in saying that, I think they might get a massive upset here against Essendon Zooter Stars in a very close game. Two good coaches in Barham and Paxman.
Big mention of Stevie Boyle. Was up and about Saturday night at CQ.
Your man
had a good chat to the boys. So
what did he have to say?
He's pretty upbeat about Pascoe Vale. I mean, they think they've got enough talent to be able to challenge, and they think they've got a pretty good stretch of games that they can get some wins on. So pretty good attitude from Stevie, which I hope filters through the whole list down there at the Panthers. But I'm going to go Doodles at home to at Buckley Park. Up the top there with the bottom oval getting redeveloped, Matty.
Yep.
Airport West versus Keilor. This is the 98.9 Northwest FM match of the day.
What a cracker
broadcast. Airport West sitting in 5th position, Keilor in 7th. Their big win last week, Keilor. Means they're only a game behind them, so it's a huge game here for either team, isn't it?
It is, and a lot of our ex-Keilor players and Airport West players have crossed sides as well. Frankie Agresta from the famous Agresta family across the EDFL, Avondale Heights, Marion Park. He plays against his old club, Keilor. Barbudo as well. This is going to be a fiery game because Keilor really see themselves as the third or fourth best side in the comp. Airport West have that position. They're 5th at the moment, but are really been known as a top, third or fourth side. It's going to be a cracking game of football at Airport West. I'd love to be there. Hopefully I can maybe sneak to both games. And just the quality of Airport West's top 3 and 4 are very good players. The Harrises, the Hogans, the Urquharts, the Kennys, these sort of guys. Walsh. Cracking game of football. Trajowski back has brought some physicality for Keilor.
So your tip, Matty?
Keilor in a big upset here.
Good, Matty. Good. I like that. Greenvale versus Avondale Heights. Avondale have all of a sudden moved up to 3rd spot with a massive percentage
what a game this is going to be.
Over 4th spot Strathmore. But if ever they're going to challenge for a final spot, they really need to get a win against one of the big two, and that means beating Greenvale at Section Road this week.
You know what? And Avondale Heights have playing a big ground. I think at Greenvale will suit the Heights. They've got a quick side. They spread well. But Greenvale, how do you tip against them? Other than that first quarter against Aberfeldy, they've been faultless this season. The way they touched up Strathmore was massive. You got guys like Reece Bloomfield still playing twos. Greenvale for me in a cracking game of football, but the Heights could be the most exciting thing in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and for the EDFL's sake, we hope that a team like Avondale Heights, who have struggled to play finals football for a number of years now in Premier Division, can really take the next step and start to play some good finals football. Recapping the Westpac Premier Division games for round 9, Oak Park versus Strathmore, Maribyrnong Park, Aberfeldy, Essendon Zooter Stars, Pascoe Vale, Greenvale, Avondale Heights, and the match of the day broadcast 98.9 Northwest FM from 2 p.m. Airport West versus Keilor. Matty, comprehensive as always.
Yes, and you're going to go away overseas on Europe Soccer last night. The Aussie Roos are very good, the Socceroos.
Yeah.
But you're going to be there for 8 weeks, so it's going to be tough without you.
Yeah, no, I know. Give me some names that are going to try and fill the massive...
Yeah, we've got a rotating panel while you're gone. The great man Brett Scott will do a show with us. KD, I might get the legendary KD on, but locked in Luke Kinnaburra, Aberfeldy player as well. Dennis Bice has given me a commitment for a show on EDFL TV. Dylan McCrimmon, your man. Adam Pappel. We've got some big names. Mark Turi, a massive chance if we can get him on camera, but we might pick one or two EDFL high-profile people to fill in the big shoes that you'll leave.
Yeah, absolutely. So one more show for Big M Pell, and then he's off jet setting to Europe for 8 weeks. But I'll be back finals time, and I will be back next week for one last show with my man, Matty Pillios. Don't shed a tear, Matty.
No, I won't. Moonee Valley Gala Board on the 29th of June, the 80th anniversary, and we've got the anti-bullying lunch as well.
Yep, so next week at Airport West, the anti-bullying lunch, which you will be hosting. We believe there's a special guest host with you too, Matty. The
MP...
hopefully Bill Short.
Yeah, seen him on the news a fair bit, so I can talk some politics with the great man and great David EDFL. But well done to the Airport West Footy Club for running this lunch. I think it's on June the 22nd.
Absolutely, June 22nd at Airport
And
West.
all the results of the interleague games are on the website, Pelly?
Absolutely. Go to essendondfl.com.au to get all the interleague results and best players, goal kickers from across the weekend. All right, enjoy round 9 of footy. Don't forget, Match of the Day broadcast, 98.9 Northwest FM.